Hello and welcome to today's little chat, Monday 27th of October. So no questions today. So what I thought I'd have a chat about is flea control and the basics of the flea cycle really. And this is a really common problem that we see. It's really a daily sort of occurrence that we see animals coming in with fleas, and I think they're really kind of, I guess we don't quite often recognise how much discomfort they cause animals. And I think any of us who have had a few flea bites on our legs from our pets certainly know how itchy they can be and what it's like. So I think once again we sort of look at our animals and kind of think, well, they're probably experience the same degree of discomfort we do with a flea bite, so it is a pretty big problem. Now, flea control, one of the things that we really need to look at when we talk about flea control is a really kind of comprehensive, holistic sort of approach. A lot of flea products, so your flea shampoos and your baths and things like that, are very good at killing the fleas that are on the animal. But the important thing with fleas is they're what we call a nest parasite. So they spend probably 95% of the time in the environment, so in bedding, on floors, under houses, and only 5% of the time on the dog. So if you imagine that kind of your flea shampoos and things are very good at killing what's on the dog at the time, but you're only really killing 5% of the population. And if you're doing that every kind of few weeks, you're really going to struggle to bring your fleas under control, because you'll kill what's on the dog, more will jump on the dog, keep on breeding, and the numbers are going to go up and up. So we do need to really make sure we're using something that's going to treat all stages of the life cycle and really try to break that whole, get rid of them in the nest and making sure we're sort of treating them everywhere they may be. So now what we really look at is we look at treating the fleas on the dog and treating in the environment. Now, once you've got fleas under control, if you've got using very, very good quality quick flea control right from the start, then that environmental burden doesn't start up. But once you're seeing fleas on the dog, you know you're going to have a lot in the environment. We need to get that under control as well. So far as the environmental control goes, I mean, certainly if you've got a really sandy backyard, the best thing you can do is get in an expert. So get in an expert pest control guy who can spray for it, and they can use something that's pretty safe and is going to be very effective. So that would be kind of my recommendation for kind of outside in particular. Inside, there's a few things that you can do. Regular vacuuming is a really good thing to get rid of flea burdens, and particularly if you've just moved into a house that's been empty for a while. Fleas will hatch when they feel vibrations, and so vacuuming is very good at getting them to hatch. A lot of people move into a house that might have been empty for a few months even. They get in there, fleas hatch very quickly, and straight away people say, look, there's fleas everywhere even though this house has been empty. That's really where it's coming from. It's coming from these fleas that have been lying dormant and waiting for that stimulation. So getting that regular vacuuming is quite an important and useful thing to do. We've got a spray here called Indirex, which is a really good spray for around the house, and that's got about a 12-month sort of lifespan within the environment, so very good at keeping that environmental burden down. The other place where we really see flea control fall down is people with multiple animals, particularly if they've got a cat and dogs. And quite often people will treat the dog but fail to treat the cat. And the cat really is the source of new fleas. Quite often the cats go out and about for a bit of a walk, a few fleas jump on, they bring them back, and the whole cycle keeps on ticking along. So always important to treat all animals in contact. So any flea, any cats, any dogs, all of them should be treated with a good quality product. Now, cats, very, very important to use a product that's licensed for cats. There are a few pyrethrin-based products that are licensed for dogs that you can get from the supermarkets and some pet stores. Never use them in cats. Very, very toxic, and you can kill your cat very easily with those. Even kind of if you've got a cat in the household, I wouldn't use them. They're that toxic to cats, and really kind of, yeah, they're not a very effective product anyway. Your pyrethrins are generally deactivated by sunlight, so if the animal's going out and about on a regular basis, they're not very effective because the sunlight deactivates the active product and they're left unprotected. So what we really recommend, I mean, the products we recommend here, there's two different products that we recommend. Our standard product is a spot-on product called Activable. That's a new generation of flea control product, and it solves a lot of the problems that we've had previously. So, for example, Frontline is reasonably water resistant, but it's got quite a slow kill time of around 24 hours from when the fleas jump on and get in contact with it to when the fleas are actually dead. So that was sort of the downside of Frontline. Advantage has got a very quick kill time, but not very water resistant. So if you're bathing your dog on a regular basis or it's swimming a lot, then the product was getting washed off and once again making it less effective. So Actival's got a very good kill time, so within 6 to 8 hours, the fleas are dead, which is very quick so far as these sort of products go. It's quite water resistant, so your animal's going to be getting bathed kind of easily on a fortnightly basis, and you're not going to reduce the effectiveness of it. And they can be swimming on a very regular basis, and it's still going to be working quite well. So for the majority of animals, Actival is going to be a very good product, easy to apply, very, very safe, well tolerated. It's a good one, and that's what we'd recommend generally starting off with. So we can start using that from in young puppies right through until adulthood. It's a new product on the market. It's only available through vets, but it's actually a bit cheaper than Frontline as well, which is nice that the new product's coming out that is actually going to save you a little bit of money as well. Now, another product that we use occasionally is a product called Confortis, which is a tablet, and that's a very, very effective product in some cases, or it's effective in every case, but there's advantages and disadvantages to Confortis. The biggest disadvantage is that it's quite a big tablet, and so some people do struggle to get that into their dogs, particularly if it's a little dog, or cats are sometimes not very easy to tablet. So that's the biggest downside of it. Occasionally we'll get an animal that'll vomit after the first tablet's given as well. That's not much of a drama, other than potentially waste the product. So if you ever buy Confortis off us and the animal vomits, just give us a call, we'll replace that tablet for you. But what's been found is they'll vomit for the first tablet, they won't vomit on subsequent ones. So it's not a huge problem. Confortis has to be given with food is the other important point, so it reduces the risk of it vomiting, but most importantly, it needs the food to be effectively absorbed. So if you don't give it with food, it's going to be a less effective product. Now, the times where we do recommend Confortis, for some skin problems, we will recommend it. So dogs that are getting bathed weekly or even more frequently than that, because it's completely water resistant or waterproof. You can't wash it off because it's given internally. And for dogs which have got kind of very, very poor coats, I tend to like it as a product because it's not relying on any sort of hair or oils in the coat to spread it. It's going through the system. It's got a very, very quick kill time as well. So this is once again down into the kind of 1 to 2 hours sort of kill time. So dogs with severe flea allergies, I'll recommend it too, because it gives it a chance to kill the flea before it has a chance to bite. So there really are 2 products. There are a few other things that are available. It depends a little bit on what you're wanting your flea products to do. So if you want a flea product that's going to do your intestinal worms and your heartworm, then something like having a mental block there. So your Advantage sort of family. So Advocate is the sort of product that you want to be using. They're quite good, or very good for fleas. As I said before, the kind of that Advantage family of products isn't very water resistant, but it's got the heartworm prevention. But our recommendation really is to look towards using separate products because I think it's more effective. So using a flea treatment that just does fleas, using an intestinal wormer every 3 months, and using a heartworm product such as Pro Heart injections. And I'll actually cover that over the next few weeks or next few days, what we're going to be recommend, or what we do recommend with those products. So as a summary, very important to use good quality flea control products. So Actival or Confortis really are the ones we recommend. Actival is our preferred product because it's very easy to give. There's nothing worse than having an effective product that can't be given to animals. So with our Actival, it means that you can pop it on. It's very easy to apply, and you know the animal's going to get its dose when it should because it's easy to do. Confortis is very good in some situations. So that's sort of the sort of thing where we can basically we're happy to discuss any of these sort of where these products are most appropriate for you. So if your animal has a specific skin problem, we may say, look, Confortis is going to be the go, but like I say, for most things, Actival is really our product. Very important to treat the environment, so making sure that you're controlling things within the environment. Confortis and Actival will both help with environmental control, but if you've got a heavy flea burden, it is going to take quite a few months for those products to really get it down, so you're better off getting an environmental spray and using that. Be very careful to make sure your products are licensed for cats, so avoid your pyrethrin-based products for cats. They're very, very toxic and they will kill your cat, so really avoid those products and go for the good quality ones. And yeah, basically other things you can do, so vacuuming, hot washing bedding, those sort of things are going to help reduce that burden. But really, if you're if you're diligent right from the start, make sure your animal's always covered against fleas, and the environmental burden is not going to kind of build up, and you're going to be able to just control it with just the applications to the animal. So that's it for today. Tomorrow will be same time. If we have any questions, we'll address those. Otherwise, we'll be talking about intestinal worms and the importance of keeping them under control. Thanks, bye.